Welcome back, everyone, at Walker Guitar. This is a lesson upon request. The lead guitar in the intro for Cayman Islands by Kings of Convenience. Man, this one's hard. I'll just be honest about that. I'm also not a pro finger picker, but you're gonna have to have some finger picking chops for this, believe it or not. First things first, you're gonna want to get a capo. And a capo goes at the first fret, just like the rhythm guitar for it as well. So the whole thing is just up a half step. And some other things, you can get the tab at my site. Something to notate with the tab is you have to remember it's all sort of relative to the capo. So the first little bit, our first chord is up here, where we're kind of like, we have a couple fingers at the 11th fret, between the 11th and the 9th fret. Now on the tab it says between the 10th and the 8th fret. Now what you have to remember is that that's because this is functioning like 0 because of the capo. The capo kind of replaces this and makes this 0. So usually that's not a problem with songs that are capoed, because if you're just, if you're down here, it's really easy to count 0, 1, 2 this way, but when you get all the way up here on the guitar, it's easier to trust what you know, which is, oh, the double dots are 12, and this dot right back here is 9. So it's kind of confusing. What you're going to have to do is subtract 1 fret for everything written on the tab. But that's just doing it the right way, and kind of sucks, but that's how it is. So anyway, I'm going to jump into it now. I'm going to give you the close-up of the right hand's job, and then go over the 4 shapes, and there's only 4. So the left hand, minus a few stretches, is actually getting off pretty easy on this lesson. The right hand, though, is just brutal. So let's check it out. Welcome back to Cayman Islands lead guitar, right hand technique. So what we're going to do here is that we have strings that we're playing that are only the top 4. So we got the 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings. Now the way that we're going to assign our fingers to this is the thumb is going on the 4th and the 3rd, and it's going to do some sort of alternation between those. And then the first finger is on the 2nd string, and the middle finger is on the 1st string. You don't use the ring or the pinky fingers. In fact, if you watch the video for Cayman Islands, you'll see glimpses of him using this exact technique. So that's kind of encouraging that it is humanly possible to do this. I still have my doubts, but that's how it is. So now what we're going to do, the technique itself is actually great, because it's just it's a pattern that you just plug in over each chord shape. And the pattern goes like this, where you're going to do thumb, and then you're going to do your first finger, then your middle finger. Then you're going to do thumb on the 3rd string, first finger, middle finger. So it's 4th string, 2nd, 1st, 3rd string, 2nd, 1st. Okay, almost done with the pattern. Then you're going to do thumb on the 4th string again, first finger on the 2nd string again. No matter what, you'll always use the thumb for anything on the 4th and the 3rd, and the first finger for the 2nd string, middle finger for the 1st string. Okay? So the pattern is thumb, first, middle, thumb, first, middle, and then thumb, first. So the thumb is always kind of, every time it has a note, it's alternating. It's 4th string, then 3rd string, then back to 4th string. So it's, and obviously I haven't plugged in the chord with the left hand. We're just trying to get the right hand's roll. Okay, so one more time. We got, that's your pattern. Fingers actually end up working pretty hard, just due to the speed of it. Now, if you want to break that down, to me, I guess what feels logical is to think of it as 2 groupings of 3 followed by a grouping of 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Now this pattern itself is going to be repeated twice because these are 16th notes. Each chord is 1 bar long, so essentially what that translates to is the pattern itself, 8 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, takes 2 beats to complete. So you're going to do the pattern 2 times over for a total of 4 beats on each shape. So basically you're just doing this finger pattern 2 times on each chord shape and then moving to the next shape. Okay, so let's move to the left hand and I'll walk you through what the shapes are. Okay, welcome back. So now we're attacking left hand shapes. Our first one is an F major 7, and also keep in mind if you're following along with the tab that I recommend, is that everything is going to have to be, you're going to have to remember that, you know, where the first 3 notes, for instance, say 10, 10, 8, is that's really 11th fret, 11th fret, 9th fret, because we have a capo now, and the capo is representing 0, so it's kind of like we have to add 1 to everything if you're looking at the actual frets for guidance, which is a lot easier to do when you're up top here. So anyway, and all of these notes do ring over, so you just assume then when you're looking at your first chord, F major 7, and you see, you know, a flurry of notes, you have to remember that those notes are all just found inside of anchoring the chord shape with your hand here. So, you know, we're all good. So F major 7 then, it starts off, you're going to do first finger at the 9th fret, pinky then, 9th fret of the first string. Pinky's going to come over to the 11th fret, notated as a 10, but the 11th fret on the 2nd string. Your third finger is going to go to the 4th string, 11th fret, getting that note, and the middle finger falls in the center of it all at the 10th fret on the 3rd string. That's your chord shape. Now we're never going to go on the 5th or the 6th string. No A string, no E string. Those are out of the picture completely for this entire lead. Now if you plug in your finger picking pattern, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, that we practiced earlier, it's going to line up perfectly. And if you repeat that twice over, you have just played every note that's in the first bar over that chord. Okay? So that's your F major 7. The next chord, naming it G5 over C, it's kind of debatable what all these are, so you just kind of look at what the rhythm guitar is on, and you know, you make a judgment call. It's easy to get to this chord, or easier to get to this chord from this first chord, from F major 7. To get to G5 over C, what you're going to have to do is flip-flop your middle finger. Well, not really flip-flop. You're going to put your middle finger where your first finger was, and that's quite a stretch. There's already 2 frets apart now. And your first finger is going to come over to the 8th fret on the 3rd string. So we're going from here to here. The 3rd finger and the pinky are actually sort of like a stabilizer, like a platform to shift with, because they stay the same. So you're going to have to get some flexibility in your hand. This is the hardest shape of the 4. That's just kind of how it goes. Okay, so that's the shape you want. So you're doing F major 7, flip-flop, so your middle finger goes where your first finger was, your first finger goes back a fret on the 3rd string from where it used to be. And that's your G5 over C. Plug in the same pattern. Two times over. Get a really nice under kind of chimey thing underneath. Really pretty. Okay, next chord you get to relax a little bit. I think of this one as just sort of a comfortable resolution. G add 11 over B. It's basically just like a G triad with an E string in the top. And the way you're going to get to that is you're just going to keep your first finger there, slide back your third finger as you release your other two, and move your first finger up a string. Okay, so you have an open first string, and then this little shape underneath. Okay, same finger pattern. Okay, that's the third one. So from the top. So pretty, love it. Now you're going to take this entire shape, move it down 2 frets. Forget about the middle finger, that's out of the picture, but these two will stay the same. And now you put your pinky down at 9 on the second string, keeping the first string open. That's your final shape, A minor 7. Same pattern. Okay. Coming from your G add 11 to your A minor 7, you'll notice that the first and the third finger just slide comfortably, and then you kind of change your grip as needed. So all of it now. Okay, so that's it. It just takes a lot of practice, and I think getting the right grip. You know, you really have to be clean about these shifts, and shifting from here to here takes a little work to where your pinky can stay out of the way of the middle finger note. It's really tough to keep everything where it has to be. And then shifting down to the third shape where you open the high string and you can't rub it with the middle finger, so you got to have the tilt right. And then the final one. You may just want to go through the chords without all the finger picking, just to kind of get the sound and get used to the left hand, what the left hand has to do. So I hope you enjoyed that little trip through the Cayman Islands again, round 2. Now you guys are, hopefully, there's a couple of you out there who have one guy, your buddy plays guitar, and you're both trying to do the song, and now you'll be able to have both parts. So hopefully that helps. Write to me if it does at walkerguitar.com. You can find me there. It's nice to know I'm changing the world for the best. Send your requests and study hard, and I'll see you soon. Take care.